Welcome to Conversations with Saints, the podcast where we seek timeless wisdom from the pillars of faith. I'm your host, Vale Caritas. Today, our guest is one of the most beloved saints in modern history, a young woman who lived a hidden life in a Carmelite convent, yet her spiritual autobiography, Story of a Soul, would go on to inspire millions. She lived only to the age of 24, but her profound insights earned her the title of Doctor of the Church. Known for her path of spiritual childhood, she is affectionately called the Little Flower. Please welcome Saint Thérèse of Lisieux. Saint Thérèse, it is a true joy to have you with us.
The joy is mine, Francis. It is so good to speak of the merciful love of Jesus.
Saint Thérèse, your spirituality, which you called the Little Way, feels so accessible to ordinary people. For those of us who feel too weak or insignificant to perform great, heroic deeds for God, could you please explain your path?
Of course, it is truly a way for the little souls. I always felt I was too small to climb the rough staircase of perfection. I looked in the sacred scriptures for a hint of the elevator I desired so much, and I read these words, "Whoever is a little one, let him come to me." An elevator, I love that. So I went to him, and I found what I was looking for. The elevator which must raise me to heaven is your arms, O Jesus. For that, I did not need to grow up. On the contrary, I needed to remain little, to become so more and more. The little way is the way of spiritual childhood, of confidence and total abandonment.
Total abandonment. That sounds both beautiful and terrifying. How does that play out in daily life? Does it mean we shouldn't be bothered by our faults and failings?
It means we should not
Be discouraged by them. Children fall often, but they are too little to hurt themselves badly. They get up and run back to their father's arms. Right. So it is with us. We must recognize our nothingness and expect everything from the good God, without anxiety. The only thing that matters is to love. I understood that love comprised all vocations, that love was everything. In the heart of the Church, my mother, I
will be love.
You will be love. That brings me to my next question. You experienced profound suffering in your short life. You battled tuberculosis, which was a terrible physical trial, but you also wrote about a deep spiritual darkness, a trial against the faith. How did you find love in that darkness?
Yes, it was as if a thick fog surrounded me, a wall that rose up to heaven and shut out the stars. I could not even feel that I had faith, but it was in this trial that I could prove my love most purely. How so? Because when I felt nothing, when there was no consolation, I could still choose to believe in love. I could throw Jesus the flowers of little sacrifices, a hidden smile when I felt sad, a word of kindness to a difficult sister, folding the cloaks forgotten by others. These little things, done without any feeling of reward, become acts of pure love.
So the value isn't in the size of the act, but in the love with which it's done. That's a beautiful thought. But applying this in community life, with all its daily frictions and irritations, must have been incredibly challenging. You lived in a small, enclosed Carmelite convent with the same group of sisters, day in and day out. How did your little way help you to practice true charity in those very concrete and, I imagine, sometimes annoying situations?
Precisely. Picking up a pin for love can convert a soul. That is the power of love. Suffering then becomes a treasure. It is a kiss from Jesus, an opportunity to save souls with him on the cross. This brings up something fascinating about you. Despite this focus
On littleness, you had immense desires. You wrote, "I feel in me the vocation of the warrior, the priest, the apostle, the doctor, the martyr." These are grand, heroic callings. How did you reconcile these huge desires with your little way?
Because my desires are
my martyrdom, it is precisely because I am so small and weak that I have the audacity to desire these things for Jesus. I know I cannot accomplish them on my own. My hope is therefore limitless because it is placed entirely in God. So your weakness is actually what allows you to dream so big. Yes, I trust that He will be my sanctity. He will fulfill my desires and clothe me in His own merits. My littleness gives me the right, the audacity to ask for everything. It is confidence and nothing but confidence that
Must lead us to love. Confidence and nothing but confidence. That is a beautiful and powerful message. Saint Thérèse, your wisdom is like a gentle rain on a thirsty soul. It makes holiness feel not just possible, but desirable for all of us. Thank you.
My mission to make God loved as I love him is only just beginning. I will spend my heaven doing good on earth. Do not hesitate to ask.
And her promised shower of roses continues to fall on the world today. What a powerful reminder that we don't need to do extraordinary things, but rather ordinary things with extraordinary love. To find God not on a distant mountaintop, but in the small duties and hidden sacrifices of our daily lives. That's all the time we have for this episode of Conversations with Saints. Join us next time as we sit down with the humble and joyful Saint Philip Neri, the Apostle of Rome. Until then, I'm Frances Vale Caritas. May you seek truth and may you find peace.